I look for atypical resumes, people who went left and right and did 3 different things, because this is the nature of work right now. Let's go back to Leonardo da Vinci. Everybody knows him. Now, you might know Leonardo for La Joconde, the painting he did. You might know something about him because he invented the submarine. You might know something about Leonardo because he created so many machines and invention and what have you. And also because he was one of the first to cut a human body and see what's in there and how it works. So he was into medicine. But at that time, in human history, there were no classification, there were no categories. People who were curious were just curious, and they were exploring all the time. Today, we were taught to be specific, classification about jobs and professions, and if you're in marketing, well, you're supposed to be in marketing for this thing, and you go like pinpoint to something, and it's supposed to be good, but if that job disappeared, then you get anxious, and we lost track of being wide open. We lost track of mobility. We lost track of what we coined a term 20 years ago about transferable skills. People way back then were atypical. When I started working, I was told to be typical. You're supposed to have one job, and you're supposed to have one job for life. I mean, if you dare to have 2 jobs in your life, you were considered unstable. Imagine imagine the wording here. Now, today's market is just unstable. It's not unstable, it's real. It's just, it evolved. Myself, when I look at the resumes and when I do some headhunting for people, for companies, whatever position, and I see resumes coming in, and those resumes are like straight line career, I put them aside. I look for atypical resumes, people who went left and right and did 3 different things, because this is the nature of work right now. You might have 10 different employers in your life. You might have 3 different careers in your life. But there's always a link in all this. It's you manifesting yourself. So you might learn a skill, you might learn a trade. And I was talking about the audio visual technicians not too long ago. The guy did a certificate in how to install audio and video in courts, where you've got judges and lawyers and what have you, and the whole thing is filmed for people to see. But while doing his work, he got interested in what was happening in court, and he decided to say, well, this brought him to think, and he decided to go for a social work type of thing. So he's doing a bachelor degree right now in social work at university. So you went from technical work, being in an environment, getting influenced by the environment, and moving on to something else. There's nothing to say that in 20 years from now it's not going to change again. But that's part of evolution. That's part of personality. That's part of us being interested by something at one point in time and then being interested by something else in time. So not knowing exactly what's out there, that could be stressful. But knowing that what's out there, it's always available. It's always there. There's abundance in there. There's all kinds of possibilities. There's always some place where you can fall back on. So I think people should look at the work not as a mean to live, but the workplace should be seen as a fun place to be. It's like actually the planet and the workplace it's a playground. So yeah, there are rules, there are ways to go around, but you have to move on the case. You have to move forward on what's going on there, and yeah, you have to have this willingness of being curious and explore what's out there. So right now, the work market is not as it used to be 50 years ago. People that are your parents are still talking what was there, and they're still conveying those values. But you, as a 20 years old, the whole future is there, the market is there, and everything is to invent. And you, whatever you land, you'll just transform that position to suit yourself. So the more you're aware of yourself, the more you're aware of where you're going right now, the more you're aware that things will change in time and you will change in time. And you might, what you like right now, you might not like it in 5 years, and that's okay. I think the thing is that in the past, if you change lifestyle, if you change job, you were told it was not okay. But I think today, everything that's out there, if you're contributing in some ways, it's okay.